What is going on, guys? So I wanted to give you guys some info since it's been a little while since we actually showed my 2001 Cobra. This car, we actually ended up doing a set of BC Coilovers BR series. So this car was actually the first set to get the coilover kit at BC. So they did the R&D on this car, they did the test height, they basically, dialed it in on this car, and now the kit is ready to be sold. So if you guys are actually interested, I have a link down in the description, coupon code, all that fun stuff. Go ahead, go down there, and right now there's I think there's 3 in stock ready to ship. There'll probably be more, but yeah, I wanted to give you guys some feedback. So far the kit's been awesome. I've had 2 Cobras before, a 2001 Cobra and a 2003 Cobra. Both of those had H&R race springs. Both of those worked pretty good, but whenever you switch over to coilover, you definitely get quite a bit stiffer, but the ride quality and everything's just very, very different.
So everything that we're building or getting built is going to work as OEM stock suspension components.
Yeah, always. And it takes a while because you're testing it at different ride heights, make sure everything works.
Exactly. That's why it's always a wait when building a new kit for this vehicle, and we never had one for this vehicle.
Exactly. And there's actually really no one else. There's only a few who make coilover kits for this, and there's one that it's all one piece, adjustable, and there's some issues with that. And you guys decided to go with a spring with a separate strut combo, but it's still ride height adjustable.
Yes, we're still having full adjustability with the ride height and damping, as well as the front. The front is the difference with the true coilover now. It's not a separate spring and shock on this vehicle.
Yeah, it's true coilover.
A lot of development went into this to get rid of that extra spring in there. So it has to clear. It obviously has to work the same. So that's the reason why this kit has taken so long, so that way we can make sure, or Taiwan can make sure it's perfect. So they're going to develop it, they're going to test it, and then they're going to give it to us. I'm obviously going to put it on the car. I'm going to measure everything. I'm going to drive the car. I'm going to make sure it clears and it works as designed.
Exactly.
That's the most important thing. It's got to be safe for the consumer, and it's got to make sure that nobody's going to get hurt, it's not going to break on you, and it's dependable.
Exactly. So obviously your one major positive of a coilover kit is the adjustability of being able to go up and down, as well as you have dampening, so you can go ahead and change that. In this car you have dampening, you can change it in the trunk on the top, as well as in the top struts. And of course you can change the ride height lower, higher. You guys saw when we first picked the car up from BC, we actually had the car pretty slammed, so we did end up raising it. It was just too low, especially with the kind of road course and drifting I wanted to do with this car. So what is cool is that this kit is for 99 to 04 Cobra. It should also work with any IRS swapped 79 to 04 chassis car. So it's pretty cool. So you might be wondering, how does the coilover work? A lot of people talk about coilovers and how they work in the rear. Some people think that it's a one-piece combo. With some suspension geometries, it's just not possible to basically do a one piece, or basically it is possible, but it puts too much stress on things, and they really want the best possible setup for these. So the way that it works, you have a spring and a shock. Shock has preload, and then there's a adjustable collar ring. That actually works the same way as it does on the S550. This car also has a set of BC Racing BR Series coilovers. We kind of like these things. They work pretty well. We have a set of these on our 3-valve Mustang as well, and we put a set on Mitch's 2011 GTCS. Overall, I have been really happy with how this car handles and how it transformed the car. I can't imagine what this car would be capable of if we did some bushings and really fixed up that rear suspension, because right now it is all stock. So like I said, the kit is for 99 to 04 Cobra, and we'll go take the car for a ride so you guys can get an idea of how it rides. Obviously this car is a little bit older, it's got a little bit of rattles in the interior, but hopefully you guys can get an idea. It rides pretty smooth. You will be a little bit stiffer in terms of the springs and the ride quality when you have the dampening cranked. Alright, so I just opened up the trunk and the hood. This car, the carpet panels are removed, but you can make access holes if you wanted to. You can see we have the dampening adjustment right here. So you just twist. Right now I just have it at full stiff. It's pretty fun at full stiff, but if you're driving long distance, it can get definitely a little bit annoying. So there's easy access to that. The brace doesn't come with it. That actually came with this car. And if we go around to the front, you'll be able to see our front dampening. adjustment right there. And we also have our camber adjustments right here as well. So you can easily get to that and have some good camber adjustments for this.
Now, let's go take the car for a ride. We'll take you guys along with us. And if you have any questions, of course, leave them down in the comment section. But let's go hop in the Cobra.
Go.
Seats in here. They do sit pretty close to the dash, but that's all right. So the car rides pretty good. I do have it 5 clicks from full stiff, so still fairly stiff, but you know, you definitely get a much tighter feel, you know, driving around. Fortunately, this is Florida and everything's flat, and we don't have any corners really to hit, but you know, we just hit a little bump right there. I think there's another big bump right here. The car is still very functional. The car still functions pretty fine, you know, driving around. I just wish we had some corners to hit, but, you know, we got some 90-degree bends. Yeah, a little bit of corner. Not too bad, right? No. So overall, I mean, I've been really happy with the coilovers. The adjustability, the way the car feels with this car only has coilovers. There's nothing else done to the suspension. So it really transforms it. It's very tight. It will respond a little bit more snappy with the dampening turned up a little bit. But overall, I've been really happy with it. If I ever got another 03 Cobra, this is definitely the suspension I would do. Unless we're going for a full-out drag car. But drag car suspension has its drawbacks too, so this is a really straightable setup. Really don't have any complaints about it. Here's some train tracks. Not too bad. No issues. Yeah, now if you crank the stiffness all the way up, you'll definitely notice the difference. So install is fairly simple. You just remove the front strut and the spring, and you can actually use stock A-arms with this body style. It's also going to work with tubular K-members and tubular A-arms, which is typically what you do to shave a little bit of weight off these cars. In the rear, it's very simple, pretty much kind of like stock. You got your spring with the collar to adjust your ride height. You put that in there, and then you put your shock in, bolts in, just like basically OEM style. There's also some shortened sway bar end links for the front, and I mean overall the install is very simple. Nothing really that complicated about it. One more corner.
This thing does ride on rails.
Yeah, I mean for pretty much bone stock and fairly high mileage, you know, old bushings, it does pretty good.
What about affordability?
Good point. That's a good point, Derek. For just $9.99.
For 4 easy payments for the rest of your life.
So in terms of price, I believe they're $1,050. We do have a coupon code that you can use on the Mustang Lifestyle website, so that'll be right here to YouTube. You can go there. If you have any questions, just go ahead and comment down below. Send me a text message, email, whatever. Just let us know and we'll get you guys set up. And I think that's about it. So I wish I could bring you guys on an autocross course, but we just don't have one. So that's about it. Alright, so I think that wraps up the review of the BC coilovers. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below, text or email, and yeah, go ahead and pick yourself up a set. Obviously they work for 99 to 04 Cobra as well as IRS equipped cars that comes out of 99 to 04 Cobras. So slap the like button, leave a comment, and we'll see you guys next time.